Unitarian Universalism is such a rich tradition. Because we honor all religions, we could have a religious holiday every week. Next week will be Easter, and we'll be celebrating the Christian tradition of Easter. I've given sermons on Bodhi Day for the Buddhist tradition. I've done Shinto springtime festivals. In the course of my 28 years in the pulpit, I have covered the waterfront and not even tapped the depth of religious traditions and holidays to celebrate. But two are very special to me because they are our own. They're not ones that we have borrowed from other traditions. They have come from us. One is the water ceremony that we do in the fall as we gather from our summer travels, and we come back and put all our water in the same bowl to show our unity and that we are, no matter how far apart we get from each other, that we are still connected. And the second and the older tradition is the flower festival. The Unitarian Universalist Flower Festival service was created by Dr. Norbert Capek, who lived from 1870 to 1942. He was the founder, along with his wife Maya, of the Unitarian Church in Prague, Czechoslovakia. He introduced the festival to the church in 1923 as a ritual of togetherness and hope. Capek turned to his surroundings and countryside and created a simple service using flower and nature. Capek had a history of growing up in a Lutheran church and high in ritual, but as his beliefs evolved, he found himself in this Unitarian church, and these were largely the humanist strain of Unitarians, and so they were very liturgically poor. And they often got very nervous if the church got too churchy. But he thought of this as a way of saying, surely they can't object to flowers. Surely they can't object to spring. He tapped it into their transcendentalist hearts and the idea that they can touch the beauty and wonder. And then that's why he chose to refer to it as a flower festival rather than flower communion, as it's more commonly become to know, because he knew that some of his parishioners would be kind of frightened off by the communion overtones of the service. According to his daughter, on the last Sunday before the summer recess in the Unitarian Church in Prague, these were the type of people who believed that there should be a recess in the summer. Who would want to go to church in summer? And many UU churches in America did that. It was on the academic calendar. It was like, and so I remember being a young Presbyterian seminary student, and I just discovered the Unitarian Church a couple weeks before, and I went all excited to go back to church, and church was closed for the summer, and I went, what? They closed the church for the summer? How is that even possible? And that's something that when I became a member of the Unitarian Church in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I started as a layperson in that church saying, we're going to have church in the summer because we just should. my upbringing. And so they started having, and they still have church in the summer. And I'm glad that people do have church in the summer. It's become more and more common in our tradition. But Capek, he had a long history, but he had this positive religion that he preached, which was problematic. for the Nazis. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found his gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every human person to be, as the Nazi court records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Capek was sent to Dachau, and where he was killed the next year during a Nazi medical experiment. We know from his writings that even in the concentration camp, his hope for the world endured. In 1940, during a tour of the United States, his wife Maya brought the Flower Festival to the Unitarian Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, she was unable to return to Prague due to the outbreak of World War II, and it was not until the war was over that she found out about her husband's death. Nevertheless, the message of human hope and decency is conveyed in this ritual and lives on. Capek was an optimist. He said that every person is an embodiment of God, and in every one of us, God struggles for a higher expression. As strong as the one who is conscious of the fact that divine seeds in him wants to manifest all the possibilities of the great prophets and geniuses that humankind have brought to light. We light the spark of God within ourselves when we serve others and bring a bit of glow and joy to other people's lives. As early as 1914, he wrote, "It is in our hands to use life and to adorn it with divine beauty and the light of immortality. But what do? We fill lives with quarrels, animosity, tears, and vanities. We have invented an airplane. We have discovered the North Pole. But the most important thing is missing, that we might discover ourselves, that we might know ourselves and the meaning of our existence." He wrote a book in 1929 called The Sunnier Shore. And it was a book of positivity. And he wrote, "People are unaware that they can choose their own moods, direct their own feelings, and own them. It is important whether we go through life allowing our moods to dominate us or whether we choose our own moods." And that sunny talk is sometimes, kind of hard to hear, especially as a person who has had periodic bouts with depression myself. When I see those cheerful people, I generally meet them with suspicion. But there's something that, I've talked about Viktor Frankl, who was in the concentration camp, and even Capek, while he was in the concentration camp, his positivity was an inspiration to those around him and helped carry him through until his final moments. And he even wrote this hymn in 1942. "In the depth of my soul, there where lies my source of strength, where the divine and human meet. There, quiet your mind, quiet. Outside let the lightning rain. Horrible darkness frightens the world. But from the depths of your own soul, from this silence will rise again God's flower. Return to yourself. Rest in yourself. Live in the depths of your own soul, where the divine and human meet. Tune your hearts to the eternal, and in the depths of your own soul, your parting panting quiets down, where the divine and human meet, there is your refuge. And we see these flowers, and they inspire joy in us. But we always have to remember that they only bring joy to us because they awaken something in us that's already there, that we can see even when the flowers are gone, that there is joy and there is beauty in the depths of our soul. So at flower communions, he would give this prayer. In the name of that which implants in the seed the future of the tree, and in the hearts of humanity the longing for people living in neighborly love. In the name of the highest in whom we move, and who makes the mother, the father, the brother, the sister what they are. In the name of sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of the kingdom of peace and justice. Let us renew our resolution to sincerely be real brothers and sisters, regardless of any kind of barrier which estranges person from person. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are one family, one spirit. The spirit of love unites us, and that our work together for a more perfect and more joyful life leads us on. So soon we'll do the flower festival, and I'm going to call it the flower communion because that's how I want you to act. For you, those of you who are former Catholics, help the rest of us Protestants out. As we do the flower communion, I want you to go to the outside. We're going to create a flow that comes up from the center aisle, grabs a flower, and then returns to your seat on the side aisle. And so basically, even the people here, you just kind of go back to the back of the room, come up the center, and come back. And that same motion here. Now, if you have limited mobility and you need to use the center aisle because that's the quickest way to get here, you can do that. Or you can tell your neighbor to walk the pattern. We're just going to keep on going like this and create a lovely thing. It'll be wonderful. See, this is what I have learned in my 28 years of being a UU minister, that every time you do a ritual, you have to retrain UUs. They're like kids who have gone away for summer vacation and they come back and they go, what? So after I read the consecration of the flowers, Catherine will start playing and Jim will start playing music, and you'll begin to come up and receive a flower. The words of Norbert Capek. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of the most precious gifts. And may we not let awareness of another's talent discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. please come forward. Select the flower, hold it to your heart, and return to your seat. Catherine.